Today, I wanted to share some thoughts and teachings and stories around free will. And this is something that I get fired up about because maybe you're like me, where you don't like being told what to do, you don't like being told how to be. And there's a reason for this, and there's a shadow and a light side to this as well. So, the reason that this fires me up is because I've had some recent experiences lately with some people and energies that have an aspect of domineering and superseding free will through being an authority or using authoritarianism, and also through manipulation, coercion, and unclear agreement fields, which tend to supersede, bypass, circumvent, or try to distort and twist another person's free will. And this is the foundation of so much disrespect in our world. And we all can be, I guess, guilty. I don't really like using that word, but to a degree, we can all be guilty of this at some time or another. And if you're like me, you are a truth seeker. And all truth seekers have that inner rebel that we look at the world and we say, this doesn't feel true. This doesn't feel right. There's something more. There's something deeper. Maybe it's something inside of yourself. Maybe it's something about the outer world. Maybe it's a bit of both. Often it is. And we go forth and try to find those deeper truths, those answers, because we're naturally in opposition to and rebellious to a certain energy in life or a certain dynamic or conditioning. So this naturally comes with the territory. Stubbornness comes with the territory of this as well. Many truth seekers and rebels have a stubborn edge. I don't know about you, but I know that I do. So put your hand up if you have a stubborn edge. If you have a natural rebellious nature, you don't like being told what to do or how to be. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is part of that inner authority within us that wants to express and find our own individuality and exercise the God-given gift of free will. So it's in many cases a good thing. It becomes a shadow when it's expressed from your adolescent self rather than your spiritual adult. Right? So the adolescent self begins to express this in a way that is half-baked. It's not being guided by a higher vision. Instead, it's coming from a place of resistance, a place of opposition, a place of fighting. It's coming from karma and judgment, rather than from a deeper wellspring of truth. It's like the spiritual adult has acceptance rather than judgment. It has acceptance, and there's this sense of like, you do you, and I'll do me. And I know who I am. Who I am doesn't need to express through rebellion or through opposition or through resisting. I know my authentic self. I am aligned with my authentic truth and the authentic truth that flows through me. I know my boundaries. And you do you. And if you cross the boundary, then there needs to be conversation. There needs to be appropriate countermeasures depending on what's being crossed and how it's being crossed. However, it's from a much more empowered, sovereign place of inner authority. And that's where we want to be moving towards, is we want to be moving deeper and greater into our maturity as spiritual adults. So if you're still expressing the rebellious nature from the adolescent, that's okay. It's good to acknowledge who's really in the driver's seat. Because often what happens when you just look at a child, often as the child grows up, they either become like their parents or they come into opposition to their parents. Right? So they're still in duality and polarity in relationship to mom and dad. They say, I'm going to be like mom and dad, or screw you, I'm going to be my own person and wear, baggy jeans and listen to rap music or whatever. And there's not that much truth in that polarization. What's true is to be in alignment with your soul, to know yourself, to know thyself, and to thyself be true. And to say, you know what? These are the gifts and blessings that my parents have given me. And sometimes those gifts and blessings have come in the ways that your parents taught you how not to be. The things that you're in opposition to. Like, you know what? I don't feel that this is actually in alignment for me. The way maybe your parents spoke to you, the way they disciplined you, the way they were maybe too loosey-goosey, hippy-dippy, or too military and strict and harsh, or whatever it might have been. Maybe that didn't resonate, but it taught you something. So you get to harvest the gifts and gems of that. And then maybe there's aspects of like, wow, you know what? Dad had a lot of integrity. He was true to his word. He did what he said he was going to do. I really admire that, and I'm going to take that gift and embody that in my life. Right? And it's not that I'm going to be dad or not be dad or resist dad or just glob on to his energy, and rather than being my own individual, it says I'm going to harvest the gems and jewels to build the beautiful treasure chest that is the life that I want to live. And this is ways that we can embody the spiritual adult. And this is what it means to be conscious creators of our life, to be in the driver's seat and the creatorship of our life, how to create our life through conscious free will choice. So in order to be a creator of your life, you must come from truth, and you must come from this sovereign free will energy. Right? And it's a lot of responsibility. It takes a lot of consciousness. And it's worthwhile. Because that's when you're given a higher vision. That's when you're given a higher purpose. When you're seen in capacity to hold and to create. So it's a beautiful gift, and it's spiritual adulthood. So wherever you're at, take that step. It starts with a decision to move from a new place and a new way of being. And you get to start crafting that and get to see where you're still a little kid and you're still an adolescent, and to see where that still serves you and to see where it doesn't serve you, and to choose who do you want to be and how do you want to live, and start to make those conscious choices. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, connect. Would love to hear from you. And looking forward to seeing you soon. Sending you lots of love on this beautiful rainy day.